Hello guys, this is Mike from mcprogramming.org. Today I'm going to talk about strings. What a string is it's an array of characters or chars, and an array is just a set, ordered set. So a string is an object, and a string is immutable, meaning you cannot change the length or characters of a string object, and if you do, then it's a new string. So therefore, you have not changed the last string. So to declare a string is, you want to say string. Let's say name equals, and in char, if you remember, you use single quote marks. In a string, you're going to want to use double quote marks. And I'm just going to say Mike. In that with a semicolon, system.println name. Okay, so very simple. Mike. I'm going to show you a cool way to concatenate variables with just other strings, I guess you could say. So I want to say in here, hello, my name is Mike. So I'm going to say, hello, my name is, and then put a little space here, and we're going to use something called concatenation. And that is when you add two strings together and put a plus and then put the variable name name, and the variable name does not have to be in quotation marks, so make sure you end what you did put in here. And I put a space here because there's no space here, and if you concatenated it, this would just be one word. So this should print out hello, my name is Mike, not hello, my name is name. So let's see what happens. See, hello, my name is Mike. And strings, being an object, comes with quite a few cool features. I'll just put them in here. Or functions. Let's say name dot. We can look at what character is in what spot. As you can tell, it says int and argument 0, and it's going to return a char. So let's run this, and for numbering places or arrays, you're gonna, in computers, you always start with 0 for the index, and then 1, 2, 3. So if I put 2, I should get a K. There we go. And if I put a number that wouldn't exist, I'd probably get an array index out of bounds there at the bottom of the screen. String index out of bounds exception. Okay, so let's see what other cool things we can do with name dot. We can compare it to another string, and it will compare the Unicode or ASCII values, which are integer values, number values, for each letter to see if it's correct. So if I compared that to, let's actually give you a real example. String name 2 equals, I'm going to put lowercase m for Mike. This should not be equal. Compared to name 2. And I think it returns, yeah, it returns an int, and says the result, if the result is 0, they're equal. Pretty much if it's a negative, something's greater than the other one. You can read on that, but if it's not 0, they're not equal. So we got a negative 32, so that means they are not equal. Say name dot compare to ignore case. So this should probably, I've never had to use this before, but this should probably give you a 0. Let's see what happens. Bam. So that one works. Let's see what other things we can come up with. Name dot char code point. another index of, we can say, is it empty? That's a Boolean. I didn't even go over Boolean. Boolean is another type that gives you true or false. So Boolean, let's say, let's just give it some dumb name, correct, equals, and you can only give it the values true or false. And that comes in handy when you have to start doing logic to decide which paths to take and all types of mess. See what happens here. False. Yeah, so because name has characters in it, being empty is false. Let's see, name dot, let's see what else we can work with. We can look at the last one. We can look at the length. This comes in handy. Length is 4. It's 4 up there. Name dot, let's get substring, and beginning index we'll say 1, index we'll say 3. This should probably, so what that's saying is it's going to return a substring of this starting at index 1, which is the I, and ending at 3, which is the E. So it should print out Ike or IK. I guess it didn't print out the third index. Alright, so name dot we can do 2 lowercase and copy this, so I don't have to keep typing everything out. Let's just do this and say 2 uppercase. And those are pretty self-explanatory. Bam. So that's the string class. There's plenty of other things we can do with them, but pretty much it just represents any type of text. And like I said, it's an array of chars. We'll go over what arrays are in future tutorials. I know a lot of this stuff I'm trying to explain with concepts that we haven't ever gone over yet. So the longer you watch these, the more things will start to make sense. Please stick in there. For me, it was a steep learning curve, and as soon as it clicked, I started learning exponentially fast. So please hang in there with me and subscribe to my videos. Having a little bit of YouTube trouble right now, but I will get all this stuff up and running, and I will keep pumping out videos, and I will go as far as I can with this, as detailed as I can. Please comment any questions or go to my website, nickprogramming.org, to ask any questions. Thank you all very much, and have a good day.